Hi. Well, welcome to Candy Cane Lab. This is a great time of the year for experiments with candy canes. That's what we're going to do today. So let's get started. I'm going to show you what you need. We're going to do an experiment with an orange and a candy cane. We're going to do an experiment called fizzing candy canes, and for that you need a bunch of different colors. You know, traditionally you've got red and white, but I've got some crazy color ones. And for that experiment, you're also going to need some baking soda and some, it's over here, vinegar, about a cup of each. And, oh, and then something to drop the vinegar and baking soda onto your pan with all the candy canes in it. So then, the third experiment that we're going to do is called disappearing. We got fizzing, we got disappearing candy canes, and you're going to need about 4 different kind of clear containers. They can be drinking glasses. I happen to have a canning jar here, right there, and a candy cane to fit into each one. You're going to need some cold water, and then some hot water, some vinegar again. And I decided to use some 7-Up, and then for an at-home experience, if you want to do the one I'm going to show you with some hot chocolate, you can do that one too. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get started. I love candy canes. I don't always eat them all, but I love to hang them around places. But here's a good one. So if you have your orange, kind of roll that orange around and around and kind of smack it. What we're doing here is we're going to actually make a straw out of a candy cane so we can suck up the orange juice inside the orange. So what we're doing right now is we're breaking up the inside of the orange, and we're getting the juice to be loose. You know, all the membranes inside the orange hold that juice in there. So what we're doing now is we're loosening the juice. So you just kind of roll it and smack it. Oh, my table isn't very stable, so I can't really smack it down there. But if you want to do something like that, you know, if you have a countertop, you can do that too. Ooh, I'm starting to smell. I must have broken the skin a little bit. But anyway, so smush it around, smush it around, smush it around, and get it all good in there. It's going to be all juicy and smushy. All right, so then the next thing that you do is you take a candy cane and unwrap it. Here we go. And sometimes it's hard to unwrap candy canes. That's okay. We'll have to be patient. Oh, they smell so good. All right, so now you want it to be, we're going to try to make this candy cane into a straw. So I'm going to break off the curvy part right up about here, and I'm going to take a look at it, and I wonder how that's going to turn into a straw. What do you think? The end of that? You think it will? Okay, so then I'm going to take a little bit of a scissors so I don't break my candy cane, and I'm going to poke a hole in the peel of the orange like that. Then I'm going to stick, oops, wait, I forgot one step. Sometimes the end of the candy canes needs to be broken off too, so it can pick up the orange juice in the orange. So I'm going to break that off too. Oops, a fresh end. There. Oh, I broke my whole candy cane. I'm going to have to start over. That might happen to you. So I have lots of candy canes around, and I think that's what I'm going to break first, the end. There we go. Got to eat them, you know. And then unwrap it. And then break off the curvy part. So now I have 2 fresh ends of the candy cane. And of course I just cut a hole in my orange. Where is it? Oh, there it is. And I'm going to stick my candy cane right down into the orange. Now, if you squish that orange up good enough, you should be able to suck on the end of the candy cane and get some orange juice from the orange. Try it. I haven't yet. You might have to work on it a while. So you keep working on it until you do, and you can squish it more too if it's not coming through. But eventually, if you suck enough, liquid from the orange is going to come up the candy cane, and you're going to get a delicious treat. I just got some. That's really good. Little orange juice. So try that and work on it. You might have to work on it just a little bit. Okay, so that's our experiment number one. But why do you think the orange juice was able to travel up the candy cane and out into your mouth? Well, if you took a look at this candy cane, it's not completely solid. There's air bubbles all through the candy cane, and it's not completely solid even though it looks like it. There's lots of little nooks and crannies because of the air bubbles for the juice to travel from the orange up the candy cane and into your mouth, just like a straw. So that's why it works. So try that out. Keep working on it. If you don't get any juice at first, just keep working on it. You'll get it. Whoops. Okay. So that is our orange juice straw candy cane. I'm going to put that down. Okay. So now let's do fizzing candy canes. Are you ready? Good. Okay. So what I have here is a big old pan, and I've got to unwrap all of my candy canes. And I'm going to use scissors because I think candy cane unwrapping is some of the more frustrating things to do, especially if you have little hands. So I got a red and white one, and I'm sticking it in my pan. And I've got another red and white one to stick in my pan. Whoops. Unwrap that. And now the other ones with other colors, great colors, yellow and green and blue. And apparently, I haven't tasted this kind yet, but apparently this one tastes like Sour Patch candy. Smells like it. Oh yeah, it smells like it. So there's a bunch of those that I'm unwrapping. And whoa, these are really sticky. So hopefully you have some different kind of candy canes. And even if you don't have two different colors of candy canes, it's okay because this experiment will work with any one candy cane that you have. I just have two different colors because I want to see what happens when the colors start to fizz. Maybe more of a rainbow experience than just the white and the red. Okay, so these are the stickiest candy cane wrappers I've ever dealt with. Here we go. So, my candy cane fell apart again. That's okay. For this one, I don't really need a whole candy cane anyway. So one more to unwrap. Oh no, wait, I did them all. I did them all. I got them. Okay, good. And I might as well throw in my candy cane pieces from the first straw that I broke. Put all of those in there, use everything. And so the next thing you do is you use baking soda. Baking soda, baking soda. And I'm going to use about a cup of it. So I have a cup measure here. And I'm going to pour the baking soda into the cup. Ooh, that's a lot of baking soda. And then sprinkle it so I can't really see the candy canes. You can smush them together a little bit, but smush and sprinkle the baking soda. I'm going to put a little bit more. I have a big pan. So I'm going to kind of cover up my candy canes with baking soda. But a cup will do it, especially if you have a smaller pan. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can't see the candy canes very much in there. All the candy canes are under the baking soda. So the next thing we do is we're going to see what happens when we get those candy canes to fizz. So I have a squirt bottle, or if you don't have a squirt bottle, you can have a spray bottle, or you could just pour, you know, if you have a measure, but it's kind of fun if you take and squirt it on with something that you have, because then you can do it slower than pouring. So there's about a cup of vinegar in my squirt bottle. How you doing out there? Have you got your experiment set up? Okay, good. So hey, there we go. I'm going to start squirting. I'm going to start squirting my candy canes and see what happens. So drop. Whoa! Drop, 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 drop. Squirt, 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 squirt. Okay, I'm going to hold this up to the camera because I want you guys to see this. Whoa! There we go. I'm going to squirt some more. What is happening? Whoa, can you hear it? Wow. Now I was expecting to see some colors streaking on top of the candy canes. Whoa, they're not mixing around as much as I thought, but eventually I think we're going to get, oh, I moved that red one there. Some of the colors mixing into this white baking soda. It almost looks like snow, don't you think? Woo-wee! Whoa! Oh, there, I've got some colors over here on this red one running around over to this one. Ooh, it's starting to be pink snow over there. So you can kind of keep this going too. So there it is. See if you can get your colors to run back and forth. And you can always tip your pan back and forth to get that baking soda to fizz. Vinegar and baking soda react and they form a gas and it bubbles. That's the cool part of this experiment. It's foamy and bubbly. And I was expecting to see a whole lot more colors start running around my pan. And I'm getting some pink down here in the corner. My white baking soda is sort of starting to turn pink. So I wonder if I keep this going and come back to it, maybe we'll start to see some more colors. But this is a very fun experiment to do because you can just keep doing that as long as you have, oh, that one turned pink when I did that. Oh, it's getting pink. It's really getting pink now. And also, if you've squirted all your vinegar and it's not fizzing anymore, you can always, if you have one, you can always add some more baking soda and it'll do it again. And you can keep it going as long as you want to play with it. Woo! There we go. Fizz, fizz. Oops, you can't see that. There we go. Fizz, fizz, fizz. So that's our fizzing candy cane experiment. And it'll change a little bit over the next couple of minutes. So we can check back on it and see how those candy canes are doing. And hopefully some of those colors are starting to run. Ooh, I got pink vinegar. All right, so I'm going to put that one down. Okay. How did yours turn out? I hope it turned out pretty good. Hope you were able to squirt. And that's one thing that you can play with for a long time. You can just keep it going. Okay, so how about disappearing candy canes? Let's set that experiment up. Okay, so remember I said you needed some clear containers. And so I'm going to try to put them, there we go, so that you can see them. And I'm going to need something with a background in back of them so you can see, because my table is very snowflakey. So you can't really see what's happening. So we're going to take some candy canes and, of course, unwrap them. I should have maybe done that before we started this video. It takes a long time. I'm going to put candy canes in each jar like this. And I could just stand them up over the edge. But depending on what kind of container you have, you might have to use a pencil over the top of it like this, and hang the hook of the candy cane over the pencil and dangle it into your container, depending how tall you have. So that's what it's going to look like. The candy cane inside the jar held in place by the pencil. Or if it works, just if your candy canes are taller in your container, you can just do that. But not everybody has the same jar, so I'm going to do this. Okay, there we go. There's one. And I'm going to do another candy cane after I unwrap it. That's the slow part of this. Okay, and another pencil. And we're going to put different liquids in these jars and see what happens to the candy cane when we do. Should I do one of these? Yeah, I think so. We're going to have to, uh-oh, I broke it. Never mind. I broke that one too. All right. Those extra ones are just so breakable. All right. Now let's get this going. Snipped it. Okay, so there's 2, and here is 3. Oops, that one needs a pencil. Okay, that'll hold it still. And, oh, I have 4. Just like that. And I definitely have 1 candy cane left. Good, yay. That works. Okay, so what are we gonna put in these jars? And I got a hint for you. One of the things you can actually you can drink this afterwards and see how you think it tastes. That's another part of this experiment. Okay, there we go. Candy cane jar. And I'm going to grab a piece of black paper because I want you to be able to see the background. There, that's a little bit less busy. Let's line them up. I'll move this around. 2. There. Candy canes. Now let's put something in these jars to make the candy canes disappear. So the first thing, easy breezy, just a little bit of water. So in my first one over here, we're gonna pour, whoops, hold on. We're just gonna pour some water into this jar. That pencil's getting away. Okay, so I'm gonna fill up my jar with water. Okay, and remember which jar had what in it. So there. Nothing seems to be happening yet, but we're going to work on that. So there's just plain water. So let's find out. That's cold water right out of the tap. So I'm going to heat up some water now in my little hot water machine over to the side that you can't see. And I am going to let that heat up, and it's going to make a little noise. So hold on a second. And let's talk about what do you think is going to happen. Oops, my black paper fell down. To the disappearing candy cane. I don't know. What do you think? It still looks like it's doing okay in there, although I can start to see a little bit of pink coming off my candy cane in there. My water is starting to turn just a little pink. What's happening? What's happening? Well, we'll just wait and see. Now, I've got some hot water getting ready, but I also have a bunch of vinegar. In one of these jars, I'm going to put some vinegar. So, whoopsie. This one on the end, I'm going to do some vinegar. I'm going to fill it all the way up there. Whoa. There's the vinegar. I wonder what will happen to that. Let that set for a while. So I have water. My water's turning pink. Can you see that? Nothing's happening to the vinegar one. I still got some hot water over there working on the hot water. It's going to make some noise. We'll just wait for a minute. So how are your candy canes doing? Vinegar, my vinegar is still not doing much. It's starting to fuzz out a little bit. This is turning so pink. I love it. Just plain water. What is happening? My whole candy cane dissolving yet? No? Hmm. Well, everything is made out of molecules. And they react with other molecules in the liquids. And they start to mix together. So let's see. Oh, here's my hot water. Oops, wait a minute. Yep, here's my hot water. Now, so if the kids are working with hot water, you want to really be careful with this one. So maybe an adult should pour this one. Okay, so here comes the hot water into my jar. And I'm even a little nervous. I hope I don't burn myself. There we go. Oh yeah, I spilled some. Of course I did. There we go. Hot water in a jar. So the difference between hot water and cold water. Whoa. Wow. Well, ow. That cup was hot. Like I said, if you're working with hot water and kids, be careful. Oh, it's turning pink almost immediately. Look at that. Whoa, they're both pink, but that was way faster than the cold water. When molecules are hot, they move faster. Okay, so this jar might be hot too. Yeah, it is. I can barely pick it up. So be careful if it's hot. But yeah, it's turning pink really fast. Oh, and you know what's interesting? My stripes are disappearing. Wow. Okay, so I've got one more jar left. What am I going to put in that one? How about some 7-Up? You know, 7-Up has a lot of fizz in it. So we've got vinegar, which is an acid that eats things. Oh, look, right at the bottom of my jar. Look at that. It's got some pink going on. Things are dissolving. What happens if I use some 7-Up? So if you don't have any 7-Up at home, you could use actually any soda pop. You could even use Coke or Verner's or anything. Whoa, look at this. Immediate reaction. It's pink. It's getting pink. It's getting pink. It's getting pink. Wow, check that out. All right, and the bubbles. Oh, look at that. Love it. So there is a really good, almost all in this hot water one. Look at my candy cane. I'm going to hold it closer to the screen so you can see it. I think it melted a little bit. What do you think? Yeah, that was hot water. Let's do the cold water one. You can see that some of the stripe is gone, but not as much as the hot water one. And you can make your own observations about what you had happen for your experiment. So here is vinegar. Some of the stripe is starting to disappear, but the whole candy cane is still there. Let's see. Oh, and the fizzy 7-Up. There we go. It's still pretty intact, but I can see some of the stripes have started to smear. And I can really tell that my water is getting pink. Look at that, 7-Up. All right, so which liquid made the candy cane disappear the most? Was it cold water? Was it hot water? Was it 7-Up? Or was it vinegar? For my experiment, oh, it's even more now. Check this out. This is just a couple minutes later. Look at it, it's getting smaller and smaller. In my experiment, the hot water was the one that made the candy cane disappear the most. And what's happening is it's dissolving, the liquids are dissolving the candy cane, which is made out of sugar, into the water, and the molecules are mixing with the water molecules, mixing with the 7-Up molecules, mixing with the vinegar molecules. And I'm going to grab a white piece of paper so you can see the color of my water a little bit more. And I bet if you're doing this at home that you can see it too. Look, there's cold water. It turned really pink. Okay, I can pick up my hot water one now. Whoa, that's nice and dark. And 7-Up. Nice, pretty pink. And vinegar. Whoa, and it kind of dropped down to the bottom too, heavier. That's interesting. Okay, so there we go. Now, there's 2 of these that you probably don't want to taste. One because the water is too hot, and the other because vinegar is so sour it doesn't taste good at all. But I have 2 here that you can taste, and they're kind of good. This is just a regular water from the tap, just a regular cold water. Tastes like peppermint because part of that candy cane mixed in with the water. Now, the one that I am looking forward to tasting is the 7-Up. Let's see what that tastes like. That's actually really good. A little bit of sugar from the 7-Up and a little bit of peppermint from the candy cane. That's a really good treat. So like I said, don't try the hot water unless you cool it down eventually. And don't drink the vinegar. But here's another thing to try. Do you like hot chocolate? You can try this at home and then see what your experiment tastes like. What I would like you to do at home is put a little bit of hot chocolate into a cup or a mug. And here's where you can add the hot water. Oops, wait a minute. There's some junk. There's a bug in my cup. Wait a minute. Oh no. That's terrible. Okay, never mind. So we'll use this cup. A little bit of hot chocolate into the cup so you can drink some hot chocolate later. And then you would put in some hot water. And then you would take and stir it with your candy cane. And then find out what happens to the taste of just regular hot chocolate when you stir it with the candy cane with a little hot water. That's an experiment for you to try at home. So that is all of our experiments today with candy canes in the Candy Cane Lab. How's your orange? Is that working for you yet? Have you tried it? I'm starting to get a little bit of orange, a little bit of peppermint. And I think I'm going to drink my 7-Up water later for lunch. So I hope you had fun doing all our experiments today. And join us again next time on some of the science projects that we do. Saw something I had never ever seen before. And here's where you get to make a choice. Was it a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex? And I'm just gonna stick some pie cones in my box, and then the fun starts. I just start rolling them around. Air rushing out of the balloon is going to push that balloon up. So let's see what happens. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. So that's how rockets kind of work. We are going to build 2 different kinds of rockets today.
pour it down as fast as you can.